You're going through a divorce. You're scared, and you tell your best friend, I feel so alone. Your best friend, he says to you, you know what you need? A divorce party. You need a party about as much as you need a third nipple. It's weird, it's awkward, unnecessary, and look at the objects. It just doesn't look right. As a divorce coach, I study men's behavior and attitude towards divorce. And I did a poll with over 300 guys, and I asked them to write down what's been the hardest part of the divorce. It was pretty much a three-way tie for first. Was finding out who they were again, not having their children daily, and loneliness. They all tied for first. Now, I've already spoken about finding out who they are again in an earlier video discussing an existential crisis. 94% of men go through this answer that they do have an existential crisis. You want to watch? Click right here. But how about loneliness? What do you do then? Let's discuss. Let's start revving that engine. Contrary to popular belief, introverted men, they tend to suffer or put loneliness as their number one concern. Extroverted guys, they tend to rank it on top, but not number one. Extroverts usually write finding their purpose again and their low self-esteem as their top concern. When we're in a relationship as men, we isolate ourselves. Our social circle is virtually non-existent. And that friend that you have that proposed to party earlier, let's face it, he's not the type of guy that you particularly find helpful. This contributes to your further agony because you don't have anyone to speak to about your spouse falling out of love with you. There's just no empathy in the bro code. As for your ex, we feel her distance and we scramble to get her attention, but her lack of response further contributes to your despair. The fucked up part is that it eats us up inside, almost in a literal sense, because let's face it, weight loss and sleep disturbances, they're some of the most common physical complaints throughout this process. I mean, we've all been there. You're next to them, but their presence is absence. You've been excluded from small aspects of their life as you notice that she's on her phone more than usual, and this continues until you no longer look for advice and see that she's making plans about her future without really talking to you about it. And you're just there for the ride, and what's gonna be a very short ride. You become the outsider, and let's face it, loneliness, it sets in way before she told you that she wanted the divorce. She thinks she no longer needs you, and that's a tough pill to swallow, making you feel like you don't add any value, but you instead become her obstacle. You just don't matter to her anymore. So here you are, all alone and lonely, and that energy you have of desperation, it's palpable, so palpable that your spouse notices it. It only pushes her away further. Then the day comes. She demands that you move out. You say, hell no. She calls you a few names, and she moves out. Now, I've been called out in the past under the comment section asking me, in what world does the female move out? But reality is 52% of the times it's the female that moves out. They want an adventure. They want to move out of the relationship. Give them their adventure, have them move out, not you. So she agrees. Time comes and she tells you the terrible news that she's found a place. Then the even worse news. She's moving out on the first of the month. You feel the dread. You feel like you're having a nervous breakdown in your chest. It begins to hurt. There's a name for that, takotsudo. And it's a reaction to the surge of the stress hormones that you're having right now. And if this is where you're at in your marriage, dreading her moving out, I know how you feel, and this will be the worst time throughout the phase. So here's a statistic for you. As you know, I have a badass group on Facebook, and I asked the men to take a poll. All men had to meet certain requirements. Requirement number 1, your spouse is leaving you. Second requirement, you're dreading it. And third requirement, she moved out and gave you a move out date. So remember, these guys, they were dreading her leaving and she moving out, and how did they feel after she left the place? Now these guys, they were me. They were scared, desperate, dreading the day to come. When the day came, to my very welcome surprise, I was at peace. Now, the poll shows that 54% of the men, that they felt the same way. A third said that the pain was what they expected it to be, and 13% said that the pain was worse. So most of these guys, they have a natural calmness about her departure and take it all in, almost like a religious or out-of-body experience. There's so much silence at your home that you could literally hear it. I know you don't want her to leave, but according to the men I coach, despite their despair and sentiment that they're going to feel, It's to the contrary. They feel a sense of deep calm. Now, here's how it happened to me. The day that she was moving out, I was in a panic. I didn't know much about social media, so I started an Instagram account and went to play tennis with my then 9-year-old son, and I asked him to take some pictures because I was gonna need them, right? So what this picture doesn't show is that I was scared during the time. Then she called me letting me know that she was almost done, so I show up. She left the garage door opener and the kitchen counter, said,
"Okay, I think that's everything."
And I would never see her again, not even in court. I don't remember what I did next, but I do remember thinking, this isn't as bad as I thought. It's so peaceful right now. Now, don't get me wrong, the loneliness, it will kick in later, but the question is it really loneliness, or do we really mean emptiness instead? This girl you were married to, she's so ingrained in your mind that your brain actually reshaped itself through neuroadaptation, and she physically changed the anatomy and chemistry of your brain. As a prior alcoholic, I have to say that the feeling of being left by your spouse is very similar to that of an addict, no longer able to communicate, so to speak, with their addiction. So call it loneliness or emptiness. What would fulfill you? Do it. I mean, you can't have her back, but no matter what, do something to fulfill you. Don't ever let someone that hasn't been in your shoes call you superficial because you decide to take care of yourself first. That's why many men turn to working out. You're not only doing something that's going to make you look better, but also it's going to fulfill you. I suppose that's your answer right there. Find something that fulfills you no matter how superficial you think it is. Fuck it. You're the one in trouble. You're the one alone, but you're also the one that's making all the rules now, and that's a beautiful, powerful thing. Rule number 1, and pretty much the only rule, is don't let others beat you up because of their ethical standards. I hear this all the time. Bro, you gotta work on yourself. What does that even mean? Do those guys that say that sit down with you and help you out? That's about as unmeaningful as talking about the search for my perfect tan. It's just superficial and unrealistic. Is it? Or they'll say, hang in there. Hang in there. Really? You'll just get tired. Pull yourself up, man. Remember that we're all just one small adjustment away from making our lives just right. Read a book, work out, meditate, learn to cook. All great things that I recommend, but you're alone here and you need human interaction, and you need it, period. Right now, that plane you're just in just lost some air pressure, and you have to put that oxygen mask on first, and then you assess the situation when the turmoil's over. The research I've done, there's one critical part that's necessary to not feeling alone, and that's liking who you are, but also having a fuck it approach when you're doing it. When I ask men what would make them like themselves more, the common response isn't to be more fit. It isn't even to improve their emotional intelligence. Instead, when I ask men what would make them like themselves more, 9 out of 10 times I hear to lose weight. All right, what else? I don't know, haven't thought about it. Gentlemen, working on yourself is knowing what you want. It is knowing who you are. It is looking better to feel better. And yes, the aesthetics work. You know that roughly 15% of women have some kind of plastic surgery 6 months prior to their separation? For someone to say it's shallow, fuck their self-serving, morally superior, holier than thou assumptions about who you are. Truth being, right now you don't even know who you are. So this is your turn to unfuck your pattern. Try new things. If there's ever been a time to start doing something different, or maybe even a little crazy, it's today. Those naysayers, you know the ones, those that have all the answers, that never try anything new, the ones that never dance when there's a dance floor, the ones that talk smack about everyone, the ones that say that you need to work on yourself, but they don't even know what that means. Fuck them. Fuck them in the ear. Who says that you can't try a checkered pattern shirt with a striped tie and a vest? Can you pull it off? Can I pull it off? Really, can I? Let me know in the comment section. But I'm liking it. I swear I tried this on just more to make a crazy statement, but I ended up liking it. But this is your time, and it's time to change, and no one will look down on you. Shame on them if they do. Again, you want to set goals for yourself. What would make you love, like, feel good about who you are? Don't sell yourself short either by saying losing weight. Think bigger. You don't just want to lose weight. You want to get toned. You want to look and feel good through exercise. Nothing wrong with that. You want to attract the opposite sex, maybe even boink some 9s and some 10s, dress one grade higher. You want to have other guys envy you. Just smile. You want to be more inviting? I did a video on the psychology of color, and if you want to be more inviting, just wear summer colors like pink or peach. And this is one of the reasons why I chose this pink pattern shirt. People are just more approachable when they wear white or pink. Want to be more focused? Start meditating or declutter your house. Believe me, that improves concentration. You want to learn to dance? Take dancing lessons. You want to be more financially well off? Grab a mentor for work or start a passion project that you've been waiting to begin. Hey, that's how I got started. Whatever you feel better about yourself, do it. Make sure that you take a personality test also. For instance, I prefer focusing on positive psychology for my clients, meaning to focus on their strengths rather than their shortcomings. Whatever you're good at, continue doing it, and now do it for growth. Volunteer. How do you think I got started as a coach? I just wanted to make a YouTube channel on dating when suddenly I found that working with divorced men was just more fulfilling. This volunteering turned into a passion project, and when COVID hit, I took full advantage of it as I found myself looking for a more fulfilled life than I was having with my corporate career. Point is that despite your despair and feeling lonely, we all get it. Question is, what are you going to decide to do about it? Will you just wait for the time to take care of your pain? Here's my question to you. Since the split, what outside of working out have you done for yourself? Something that's different, something that's not you, but you decided to do anyways. Let me know in the comment section. Now, gents, we went over a lot of information on tackling loneliness, but the reality is, why the heck do you want to try and do this alone? Why not join one of the fastest growing men's divorce support group on Facebook? It's free and it's confidential. And of course, gents, it's time that you schedule a one-on-one with me. I promise that it's about you. And you're going to walk out feeling a hell of a lot better than you did walking in. So any minute now, you're going to see a logo right there that looks like that at the bottom left of your screen. Click on it. It's going to take you to both the Facebook group and to my site to make an appointment. Preliminary data shows that of the men who have taken my coaching program, men's divorce coaching or medical, the quality of life went from 56 to 82 points. That's a 26-point difference. That's 2 standard deviations in quality of life. That's more than 2 years of time to let your heart grow and improve. So it's not necessarily true that time is the best healer. See what some of my clients say, like this one. I made the decision after our one-on-one to join Renee's medical program. The conversations, they calm me down. It's a great advantage. Don't wait any longer. Trust me, it's worth it. Gents, I don't know if you could tell, but first, I don't fuck around here. And second, I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't think that I was the best. I have dozens like these, so make your appointment today. If not, that's okay also. Just remember to subscribe to the channel. We're at 2731 subscribers. Let's make a goal and let's make it 5,000 by the end of this year. I can only do it with your help. Last, it turns out that because of the content and language of YouTube's advertisers have decided not to promote my videos, but you can help. Like seriously, you can help. Just go through the video, scroll through thanks, click on giving a donation, and support men's groups that take pride in giving it to the status quo, because we won't tone down our content or change it. Thank you very much.
I'ma wake up,